Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Music for a Book podcast from The Vault. We are your hosts. I'm Britt.
And I'm Hannah.
And we are here to celebrate bookstores today with a special Dear Reader episode.
We do have a very special episode this week. We are highlighting Independent Bookstore Day, which is this Saturday, April 26th.
Yes, so this episode will cover what Independent Bookstore Day is, a fun way to go out and celebrate independent bookstores in our home state of Michigan, and we get to chat with a special guest. No, it's not Trevor Noah, the independent bookstore ambassador, but it is an owner of a local bookshop here in Plymouth, Michigan, Melissa.
I can't wait. Maybe next year we'll get whoever the ambassador is.
Maybe we will.
All right, so what is Independent Bookstore Day?
Independent Bookstore Day is a nationwide party happening the last Saturday in April to celebrate independent bookstores both in-store and online.
Yeah, and there's exclusive books, fun merch, giveaways. It's really a bookish bash that you don't want to miss.
Yes. And also, Libro.fm, if you guys don't know or aren't familiar, a platform that we use for audiobooks. Absolutely love it. They support indie bookstores. They have the golden ticket information with a list of participating bookstores. And if you go on Independent Bookstore Day and you find a golden ticket, you get 12 free audiobook credits. 12.
That's awesome.
Yes.
So what's your plan? What's your plan to go out this weekend?
I want to find a golden ticket. Like,
I know.
Where are we going to go? Probably we got to swing by Elephant Ear. I might swing by Brooks Books over in Wyandotte. That's really close to me. And there's a couple other places might swing by. A couple of them are a little bit further out from me, like Two Dandelions and stuff like that. But yeah. I think
I want to go up to Royal Oak. Then there's like the Caboose, which is like a kid's bookstore.
So cute.
So we want to check those out, I think.
Yeah. Either way, gonna get out and at least shop at one, if not two, local indie bookstores to celebrate on that day.
And you can also shop online too with participating stores to support them. So if you can't make it out and about.
Absolutely. And something else that we wanted to talk about actually is the Michigan Book Hop. So if you're not in Michigan, unfortunately, this will probably not relate to you very much. However, I have a feeling a lot of other states probably have something similar, I would assume. But the Michigan Book Hop is a volunteer-run book hop across Michigan, organized and administered by booksellers. So it kicks off officially on Independent Bookstore Day, and it runs all the way through Memorial Weekend, which ends Sunday, May 26th, 2025. Just a little bit more about the Michigan Book Hop.
Yeah, it started in 2023, not 2003, when Laura Harvey from Adventure Inc. in Milan pulled a group of just interested stores together and started outreach to more stores. And the director of the Great Lakes Independent Booksellers Association, Larry Law, he's served as a sounding board since its inception and generously donated his time to design the mascot graphic and create the bingo cards each year. So the Michigan Book Hop became an official GLIBA committee late 2024.
Yeah, and so the hop was created to generate more fun around Independent Bookstore Day and extend the excitement out a little bit farther to introduce potential new customers to the stores. 2024, the second year of the Michigan Book Hop, showed exponential growth, both in stores and with customers participating. And they think that this third year will be even better. They have 79 independent bookstores participating across 10 regions all around Michigan.
It's amazing. That's so exciting.
I know. It's so cool.
And participation is easy. Customers pick up a bingo sheet at participating stores, then visit stores and complete other bookish tasks to get a bingo or to fill your sheet, which enters them into a drawing for gift card prizes. This year, they will be rewarding 35 gift cards worth $25 each at participating indie bookstores, as well as a grand prize of one $500 gift card to bookshop.org. And in addition to anyone who fills out every space on their bingo card, they're eligible for a free exclusive pin with online registration.
Which is so fun. Like, take a little road trip, hop around to some bookstores.
Yeah, you have all month to do it, which I think is a lot of fun.
Absolutely. And Michigan Book Hop does have a website. It's MIBookhop, MIBOOKHOP.com, and Facebook and Instagram accounts at MIBookhop. And their website will be updated with all of the 2025 information very soon, if not already, probably already by the time this episode does come out. So please check them out. This is all information that we received direct from them, and we'd love to support our local indie bookstores.
Yes, I can't wait. And next, we get to talk to one of those independent bookstore owners that's participating in Independent Bookstore Day.
We sure do.
Melissa from Elephant Ear Books is here with us, and we are so happy that Plymouth finally has a bookstore. Welcome, Melissa. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Thank you so much. My name is Melissa. I grew up in New Hampshire with crazy dark back roads, by the way. And it sounds so cliche. I always wanted to own a bookstore. I've always been a reader. I was a librarian for so many years that being a bookstore owner allows me to take those parts of being a librarian that I love so much, which is talking to people about books and joining that community and building that connection. And I get to do it full time. So yeah, I'm married. I have 2 kids, and we moved to Michigan 4 years ago because the house next door to our best friends was on the market. So mid-pandemic, I don't suggest moving, but we did it and we're here and we're all good.
Perfect. What a great little, like, right next to the best friend. Everything's ready to go.
That's the dream.
It really is.
Don't wait for retirement. If the opportunity arises, just do it.
Beautiful. All right. So we are going to go over inspiration behind Melissa's shop, what Independent Bookstore Day means to her. And we have a little bonus chat about one of our previous podcast book picks.
Yes. So, Melissa, I'm curious, what's the inspiration behind the name of your store?
I feel like I need to make up some creative story about this, but the bottom line is seriously that elephants are my favorite animal. I just love them. Just so quiet, gentle giants. And I thought it sounded fun. And I was creating something one day and I had a little book stack of paper crafting book stack. And I had a little tiny elephant and they stacked together on my desk. And I was like, oh my gosh, there's my logo. And I just thought it sounded fun. I wanted to be near the top of the alphabet for directories. And I didn't want to be something generic like the bookstore on the corner or, Town Books. So there it is. Elephant ear.
I love it.
Yeah. It can be as simple as just loving an animal. Like, why not? Mm-hmm. And then what has been the most exciting thing about opening up your store?
Oh, besides choosing all the books that I want to push on people is really honestly getting to know the people who are coming in my store and who are my customers and the people who are already coming back. And those little kids who turn that corner into the children's area and you can hear the, the excitement in their voice and just, pushing books on people is what I love to do and talking to people about, have you read this? Have you read that? So definitely getting to do that every day it's fantastic.
Sounds like a dream, honestly.
I know. One day we will move next to each other and open up a bookstore.
Sign me up.
But since this episode is all about Independent Bookstore Day, what does Independent Bookstore Day mean to you?
It means a heck of a lot more this year than it ever has before. It's always been some sort of fun thing that happens once a year. And I think until you're on my side of it, it's fun. And you go around and you tour and you see the different flavors of different bookstores. This year, it's so exciting. I think I'm underestimating what Saturday is going to be like. And I'm kind of, I have this planned and I kind of have that planned. And Friday night, I might do this in preparation. So I'm kind of flying by the seat of my pants, but just looking forward to the excitement. And, I made a social media post that 150 people responded to, which for me as a little news store is huge.
Yeah.
And I think there's an anti-Amazon movement afoot and it's growing. And I love that. So I think it's a chance for me to showcase the flavor of my store and to bring people to downtown Plymouth and check me out and hopefully find a new spot that they can come and get their books.
Yeah. And I have seen there is a very large movement, especially online right now, because I believe that they were running a sale that overlapped with Independent Bookstore Day. So a lot of creators that we, look at, see, and follow have been very adamant about shopping local that day. So it's very exciting. And you said you have a few things planned. We have seen some information from like libro.fm about golden tickets, things like that. Are you participating in anything fun along those lines?
I have a golden ticket.
Amazing.
I don't know where I'm going to hide it until maybe 10:45 Saturday morning. So I am going to have, I have a little elephant ear stickers. I'll be giving these away with a $50 purchase. Cute. I'm going to have some raffle baskets for different age groups that with a purchase, you get a ticket into your choice of raffle basket. I also have some tote bags and some special Independent Bookstore Day merchandise as a special edition. We have a few special signed copies of some books. I have a signed Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Hot Mess, which is the newest one. My friend and I might bake up some elephant ear cookies Friday night. We'll see.
It's going to be so fun. We're excited to pop around on Saturday and, pop into some bookstores and see what everyone is up to.
Yes. So now we're going to switch it up a little bit. And we did pick a book from one of our review episodes to have a quick chat with Melissa.
Yes.
And we gave her a list of all of them, and she picked one that takes place in Michigan. So Murder Road by Simone St. James. And if you listen to our episode, Britt and I both enjoyed this book. We thought it was great. Melissa, what did you think of this book?
So I was listening to your podcast this morning as a refresher on my way in. I really enjoyed this book. I read it last year, I think. And I remember just parking myself on the couch and plowing through it. I just needed to know what happened because it gave me Stephen King vibes in where, something weird is going on, and the setting, the time frame, 1995, I was just out of college. My friend and I were, we probably would have ended up at the beach with those wanderers because we didn't know what we were doing. It was after college. I think now you would call it a gap year. And then it was just like teenagers going out to find themselves before the real world hits. Overall, I really liked it. I liked the supernatural elements. I liked the mystery element. I love a story where the main character has this traumatic background that affects them, and you find it out as the story goes along. So I don't know, it ticked a lot of the boxes for me. It was just a fun read.
Yeah, I love the supernatural aspect. It just also creeps me out. Those dark back roads every time. I'm like, oh my gosh. Thank God for cell phones, but nowadays, right?
Yes.
But even so, you could lose service at any time. But
yeah.
Well, I grew up driving those dark back roads that have no streetlights, and it's surrounded by trees, and then a rainstorm happens, or you see something out of the corner of your eye, and you're like, I don't know what that was, but I'm just going to keep driving.
Yep.
Yeah, I liked that it was actually supernatural, which is, because I think a lot of the books now will give us some supernatural elements and then fully explain it away. So I just love that she leaned into it. And I obviously loved our Nancy Drew teenage investigators that we had. Just my favorite. And I like that you didn't know who to trust or believe too. There was a lot of distrust in who the stories being told, the way that they were handled. Anything where I can't trust a narrator or these people that you're supposed to is one of my favorite things in thrillers and mysteries.
I think she did a good job though, because even though, like you mentioned in your podcast, April wasn't reliable and neither was Eddie, and it wasn't in a malicious way. It was just because they had parts of themselves that they were not sharing, and they didn't seem relevant at the time to what was happening. So yeah, they weren't being malicious about their hidden past. It was just parts of them that they didn't want to share with everybody, and we're trying to move past. About 1995, I set off on a cross-country road trip with my friend, and we broke down in the middle of nowhere.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we were stuck in this little podunk town for a couple days because we didn't have cell phones. We didn't have Google. We didn't have the internet. We didn't have any way. So I remember we had to find a payphone and call our parents and say, what do we do now? And we had to tow our car 1,000 miles home.
Oh my gosh.
That is what. So this must have felt very on brand for you.
Definitely that horror aspect. Like, oh gosh, reliving this.
Luckily, there were no lost girls on your excursion.
There was a very sketchy insect-filled swimming pool at the hotel. That was the sketchiest part.
I don't know. I might take the lost girl over that. I'm not going to lie. And then, obviously, to go along with Murder Road, we pick songs for books. And so we asked Melissa to pick a song, and then we'll review our songs that we originally picked on the podcast as well.
My song, I had to choose Soundgarden, Black Hole Sun, because that was like the Soundgarden was the soundtrack to my 1990s. And it just, the vibe of the music and the vibe of the book just seemed to gel with me. And as I was reading it, that song was it was in my head, and it feels like the right book for me when I'm reading that, right song when I'm reading that book.
Yeah.
I love that.
I was going to say, our songs were both kind of based off of vibes as well. I picked Hold My Hand by Hootie and the Blowfish. It's a little cheerful for the book itself, but I feel like it described April and Eddie's relationship really well, because it was just, I'm going to love you the best that I can. It was just two imperfect people, like you said, that were kind of withholding pieces of themselves, but in the context of what they were giving, they were going to do the best that they could and hold each other's hands through it. So that's why I ended up picking that one originally.
Yeah. And I picked Can't Stop Loving You by Van Halen for vibes as well. But I feel like that's what they were like jamming out to on their drive, you know, not paying attention and just like feeling the love that they had after they got married and everything. And then their whole world turned upside down. But I love those 3 songs. I feel like I could listen to on repeat. Like,
yes,
definitely a good vibe.
Yeah.
Absolutely. A huge thank you again to Melissa from Elephant Ear Books in Plymouth, Michigan for joining us today. We're so excited for Independent Bookstore Day.
Yeah, so make sure to get out and shop local at your local bookstore on April 26th and beyond. But if our listeners aren't local, where could they still support you, Melissa?
I have affiliate relationships with Libro FM. You can search up Elephant Ear Books on that platform if you are an audiobook listener. If you prefer to have your books, physical books shipped to you, you can go to bookshop.org. I have a great affiliate relationship with them as well. And they support independent bookstores across the country, and they will ship right to your house, and they share profits with us little startups.
I love that. Thank you again so much to Melissa from Elephant Ear Books in Plymouth, Michigan for joining us today, and for the Michigan Book Hop for providing all of that information about Indie Bookstore Day and everything fun that's coming up there. And we hope that you join us next week, which is Wednesday, April 30th, to continue our spring mixtape series, where we are heading to Rebel Blue Ranch to save a horse and read about a cowboy.
Sure. And then after that, we'll have a long story short vault episode where we are going over our 2025 reads so far, Survivor style.
So excited. Excited for that.
And so please, please, please follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Discord, Patreon. I stole Britt's line there, everybody. But please give us your thoughts in our Discord server and on social media. We need some more recommendations from you.
Yes. And you know what? I'm going to throw it in again. Please, please, please rate and review the podcast on your preferred platform. It helps us so much to get that 5-star review with visibility, and we would very much greatly appreciate it.
Yes. So if you made it this far, comment on Spotify saying, please, please, please.
And let us know your favorite local indie bookstore.
Yes.
We will see you next week with our mixtape episode about Rebel Blue Ranch by Lila Sage. We are so excited.
Yes. And keep reading with kindness.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.